Hi, Leather Rokk here. Welcome to my channel, and this is my tabby boy. Check this out. What do you think of this makeup I did? This is a bunch of oranges and pinks and golds and even some reds. And if you want to see how I did it, stay tuned. I'll show you how it's done. I'm ready to tie my hair up. I'm really feeling a tropical mango fruity vibe for the look I'm going to come up with today. I think something about a couple weeks ago seeing all those people with their fruity cocktails, and I could smell them, and it was kind of like more complex than a fruit punch, not heavy on the pineapple, but the pinker orangey kind of fruits, and that was kind of the takeaway, and that's what's going to end up inspiring this now that I'm kind of tied up. I already have the foundation on my face, which if I can find it, I will show you. Oh yes, this is a foundation I'm wearing. This is the Ordinary. It's their coverage foundation. It's the very palest one, which is the actually 1.0N. There's also the 1.0NS. The N is neutral and S is for silver undertones. But there is a Tom Ford foundation that is really, 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 really pale. It's even paler than that, and it's called Pearl. But I believe their foundation will set you back $40, and I'm not a $40 a bottle of foundation kind of person, so we'll just pretend that I didn't hear such a cost. I'm going to prep my eyes with the Ben Nye cream color, and this is the lightest shade besides white, and it's called Ultralight. I'm just going to put it on a clean finger with a short nail. I'm going to pat it and get it as close to my eyebrows as possible without actually touching the color, because that would just be a disaster if that happened. A little bit underneath the eyes. And then, of course, it's very important on this step to get the amount of color of your primer the same on both eyes so that they have equal. You really want to have the same canvas on either side. And yeah, this looks about right. If they don't match, the final product's not going to match. I'm so thirsty. I'm only now having my second cup of coffee today. And it's obviously not much warmer than room temperature. I couldn't have chugged it like that. I am thirsty. You know what? So that I have started off with a nice look, I'm actually going to apply a lip color now, and it's going to be a combination of colors because I want to get something that's kind of more orangey than what I can find available. I'm going to start off now. There's a little bit of foundation on my lips, but I'm going to start off with a gloss from Too Faced that happened to come from the Christmas Star, and I can't find my readers to tell you what the label says, but this is a pretty much a clear gloss that has a little tiny bit of sparkle in it, but you really can't tell it has a sparkle. What's nice about this is it tastes like vanilla. And I really appreciate the feel of this now, especially with all this face mask wearing I've been doing. It's nice to have something occasionally that's nice and moisturizing on my lips. Now I'm going to cover up a little bit with a lipstick by a company called Jaffa. Either Jaffa or Jafra. I haven't looked at this in a while. But I'm going to do a lighter coat on my lips. And since I have lip gloss on, it's much easier to do that. So now I just have a sheer something. And since it's such an extremely bright color, it can be sheer and it could still be something. And now I'm going to start off with the first color. I'm going to use several different palettes for this. This is a palette I hardly ever use. This is from B&H Cosmetics. It's the Glam Reflection Gilded palette. So it's obviously loaded up with a whole lot of golds, but because it is so neutral heavy, and I'm really not into neutrals that much, I don't use it very much. But this has a lot of colors that are good for blending. I'm going to start off with one of the palest colors that it has. This pink here that actually still goes on really gold. And I'm going to use a Vivace brush, and I'm going to load it really well. And I'm going to use this as a brush, as a mirror rather, and I'm going to get very close to the eyebrow without touching. And then I'm going to do that. It's this color here that looks very pink. And again, I'm going to go almost to the eyebrows. Make sure they match. And then I'm going to bring this back up against the back wall, see, to check on the color. Of course, I have to be very careful not to touch the makeup palette to this hard drive at this computer. Obviously, we don't want to get magnets near computers. Okay, I'm going to see. You see, that's so close to a flesh color that even with the best light here, you can't really see. But that's okay, because we're going to be applying a whole lot of colors here. Okay. And I'm going to keep these brushes as I use them. I'm going to keep them. You know what? I got to bring my leg back. Hold on a second. This is really great for keeping the brushes. When I use them, just put them on here and I can keep track of them. And that's just such a good idea, especially when your look involves a lot of makeup brushes. And I love, love, love having a clear container to keep them in. That is such an important thing. Now I'm going to use a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 17. And I'm going to dip into the Orange You Glad palette from ColourPop. If you like orange, it's a great palette. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right on the eyelid area. And I'm going to go on the most orange looking of all these. And all the colors have names, and this is called Sun-Kissed. And I'm going to get good load on this. And I'm going to do approximately where your iris would be, so that this is very, 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 very obvious. And repeat it on the other side. Let's go back up against the back wall and see how good that is. Okay. Ooh, you know what this needs now? This needs some pink. And for that, I'm going to use the Sephora Holographic Face and Cheek Palette. It doesn't have a mirror, that's the only thing. These top colors here are highlighters, and this can also be used for eyeshadows, but these are opaque. And I'm going to use this pink here, and I'm using a Vivace brush. And it's like a C brush. It's very close to the e.l.f. C brush, and it's really good for depositing color. And it's also good for getting a fine crease color. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to use this just above where the orange is. I'm going to start on my crease, and I'm just going to go sweeping like this. I'm going to go back into this on the other side, and then just above where the orange is, sweeping. I'm holding the brush this way so it follows the curve of the eyeball, just in case there's not enough to see. I'm going to coat this really well. Then I'm going to bring this and a mirror back to the back wall. Let's get a good look at this. See how I'm going to balance the computer with my knee. I hope I don't live to regret this. And I'm going to use the monitor here. I'm going to use a monitor to look in, and I'm going to see if I can see that. You know what? I'm going to look back so that you get a subtle crease color with this pink. But if you still can't see it, and I'm not convinced I can see it, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this. Ooh, this is a little bit not very steady. I'm going to get my pink back again. Hold on. Here it is. I want to get some more on this pink. This is really a good little palette from Sephora. I got it on the clearance section like over a year ago, and it is so useful. It's really good to have for both the highlighting and the blush colors, and the fact that you can really use them also around the eyes. And let's get this back up against the wall and see. Okay. Yeah, this is a really good transition color also. Now I'm going to bring this back to add some more colors. The next thing I want to work on is some of this inner corner here. And for that, I'm digging out the main Squeeze palette. And this is really an interesting color scheme, especially if you like interesting takes on red. But it has one coppery gold. It's a dark gold color. And the name for that is Juicy Fruit. Ironically, when it comes to gum, one of my absolute least favorite flavors. But if that's what they chose to give this name of this color, and I'm loading up this brush very heavy with it, and I'm going to get some of, but not all of, the inside part. I still want to leave the very inner part for something even lighter. And I don't know that I could see that enough, so I'm going to add some more. Then really, really, really load up this brush a lot. And this is a brush by Ulta Beauty. It's a little portable eyeshadow brush, and it's just the cutest thing, and it's a really great shape. It's good for depositing color, and it's good for blending also, but it's small enough that it can really fit into smaller spaces. So when you're only using a little bit of your eyelid, a brush like this is very, very, very ideal. Let's bring this up against the back wall so I can see what it looks like with better light. I will close the eyes here, and you see how you've got from here to here covered, and from here to here covered. I am going to put a little bit more of that eyeshadow on. And again, I have, whenever I put my computer here, I have it actually balanced on something there. The fact that my floors are warped doesn't help either. I'm going to load this brush with some more color, and I am going to just make sure. There. No, I just want to make sure that you have the shine. The whole idea of going from a matte to a shimmer is so that you see some shine when you get close up. Now that I have that, I'm going to go back down here. I'm going to go back into this Glam Reflections Gilded palette, and there is a gorgeous, gorgeous gold here. And I'm going to use my e.l.f. C brush. Such a good brush for depositing color, and I love how it's tapered to that area that lets you really get into the corner of the eye. And you can also use this as an eyeliner brush. I'm going to get a generous coating on here, and I'm going to use the angle so that it fits right corner of the eye. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. And you should be able to see I'm angling right here. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a coat. But I'm going to bring this up against the wall, and I'm going to see that that showed up the way I want it to. Just to make sure. Isn't that good so far? I'm going to see what this looks like in this light so far. Okay. This looks good so far. Now I'm going to go into the main squeeze palette, and they've got a lot of really yummy colors. I'm going to use a color that they call Home Slice. I keep on going to this again and again. It's got frost in it. It's the cooler, it runs on the cooler spectrum as opposed to the warmer spectrum. And with this and a B&H Cosmetics Studio Pro number 17, I'm going to use this kind of like a crease brush, and I'm going to go where I put the pink, but I'm going to go a little bit lower and deeper into the crease. So I'm going to use this color to accentuate and deepen that crease. And I'm going to do it again. So the idea is I still want to see some of that pink peeking out of the top. But when I repeat this, shake off the excess. And I'm sweeping. To do this, you really need a thin brush for this step. You cannot use a big fluffy brush, a big blending brush. If you do, it'll get the red all up here. It'll be too much. It'll cover up the pink. And the only way that you can prevent that from smearing is if you use a powder up here, allowed you to blend. I'm going to load this up again, tap off the excess. Let's bring this up against the wall to see what it looks like so far. And I do like to test it in that bathroom. Every place has different light. Okay, with my left hand balancing this, I'm keeping this line thin. Then I'm going to, well, I have to load this up again. Hopefully the computer will stay balanced there. I'm going to repeat this. The smaller brush. Matter of fact, you could even use an eyeliner brush for this step. I want to get this palette again. And I want to take a look at this in the bathroom before I go any further. One of the things I'm noticing is this eye, it looks like the red's a little bit more intense in this corner. So I'm going to further go with it because I like the visibility of that red there. Then I'm going to go back into this palette again, the main squeeze palette, and I'm going to load up this 17 brush with this, and I'm going to bring this up near this. This is the sink mirror, and this actually has pretty good lighting, but I want you to see what I see in this mirror here. And as you can see, I obviously have to accentuate this so it looks like the other side, and I want to make it so that you can see this red. It peeks out kind of the way the other, it's kind of like it's got a little wing already, just so they match. It drives me absolutely bonkers when I look at a finished video and I could see that one eye looks a little darker than the other. And I know that sometimes it's the lighting, but still. What do you think? I was going to use an eyeshadow and carry it underneath the lower lash line when I remembered I have red eyeliner. And this is gel pot eyeliner from ColourPop that is truly waterproof. And I need waterproof eyeliner. And this color is called Venus. And as long as you keep these sealed shut, I love them. And I love this brush that I'm using it. This is a B&H Cosmetics. I think it is a vegan. I'm pretty sure that when they're silver like this, they're vegan. I don't care what it's made of. It could be made with kitty whiskers that I picked off the ground as far as I'm concerned. As long as it does the job. This, you can roll it in, wipe off the excess, seal it up so they don't dry out. And I don't know how many years they'll last you, but I just love these unusual colors. And I'm going to start midway. Oh hell, I'm going to go all the way. Almost. I'm going to leave a little spot there. And I'm going to do the same. One thing I noticed, your brushes, at the end of the night or whatever, your brushes that using these gel eyeliners, they will dry, and you really have to scrub them clean. Let's bring this into the bathroom and see what it looks like. You know, I was looking on my Wish site, and you have all these different kinds of studio lights. Some of them say quiet taping in progress and stuff. And I keep on thinking the very people that I would want to have a sign like that for are the kind of people that, if anything, they would get noisier just in spite. And if I had it out my window, it would draw attention that I wouldn't want. I'm going to get some more colors. I'm not done with the colored eyeliners. Here's another gel pot eyeliner from ColourPop, and this is a pale pink one called Boots. And I'm using a Maybelline eyeliner brush and another kind of brush. Instead of twirling this, I just scrape it onto the eyeliner, then scrape off the excess. And this, I'm going to use the inner corner part that I did not already cover with the red. And this will enable me to accentuate the inner corner. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of upper eyeliner, and I'm just going to go with black, and this is the Too Faced Better Than Sex liquid eyeliner. It's supposed to be waterproof. On me it is not, but I'm going to take a chance that I can get away with not wearing a waterproof eyeliner right now, and I'm going to very, very, very carefully hug my lower lash line. I don't want to cover up the eyeshadow. You certainly also want to be very careful not to blink until it's dry. I'm going to go ahead and wear, you know what? There's a choice of mascaras I'm going to use with this. Let's see here. One of these is a red mascara. One of these is a pink mascara, and one of these is a black mascara. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a red, and it says Color Mascara, and it says WX/Dragon. This is a makeup product that I got on Wish.com. You don't see red mascaras too much, do you? I'm going to use this instead of that as a mirror. I love how a colored mascara pops when the light hits it. And the thing is, since you got all this bright makeup on top of it, this is going to not show up much at first. But that's okay. Wait till you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the other side, of course. Now, this mascara, though, is not waterproof. So, And I don't even think they sell it to be waterproof, so I would never put a brand new makeup to a test hoping it's going to be waterproof where you don't have a do-over. I've made that mistake so many times, filming, doing something that I didn't have a chance to do other takes, and having makeup run that I didn't think was going to run. And sometimes not really knowing until you look at the footage afterward. I'm going to use the pink version is a pale pink mascara. And then I'm going to get this in the inner area. And on the other side. I have a real hard time not getting smudges on the up against my nose when I do this. I like the contrast of the pink mascara up against the red eyeliner. You know, this is one opportunity where perhaps having pale see-through eyelashes is a distinct advantage. If you happen to have naturally dark eyelashes and you want to pull off this look, one thing you can do is you could start off with a white mascara and then use a pale colored mascara on top. And that way your pale color will show up. I see a smudge of the pink eyeliner in the corner. Oh, who'd have thought a little tiny miniature straw could get rid of a smudge of eyeliner? Of course, so can a finger do the rest. I am going to, just so that there is some definition, I'm going to do a little bit of the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I don't know why they have to have such tacky titles for makeup, you know. And this is not the waterproof version. And I'm going to concentrate on the outer lashes. I don't want to cover up all this colored mascara that I have, but just the outer. And then the outer here. Same thing on this side. Okay, now I think I need some cheek definition, definitely. And that's what's, I'm sure I have something suitable in my bag. Yes, I do. Okay, and then I'm going to go back into that holographic palette, which I'm probably sitting on. And you know what? If I can't get close to that, I'll use something else. Ah, okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into the KVD Kat Von D Alchemist holographic palette. And I'm going to take this pink thing. It says pink opal. And let me get one of those big fluffy brushes. You know what? I'm going to use a Wet n Wild crease brush. And I'm going to dip into pink opal. And I'm going to find the light. Get some more. This is actually pretty subtle as far as highlighter palettes go. So if you're looking for something that's not so scary and intimidating that you don't have to worry about being seen from the space shuttle, this might just be a pleasant palette for you. Plus it's small, it's portable, it would travel very well, assuming there's going to be a time when we're going to be able to wear makeup that you can see, even though the face masks will probably be a thing. They say through 2022 that's probably going to be reality. So you might as well think of them as protection that's also fashionable. If that's what encourages you to protect yourself. And then you still need a cheek color though. You know, I never could find that darn holographic palette. I could be sitting on it for all I know. So I'm going to go back into the B&H Cosmetics Glam Reflection Gilded palette, which I think would have more of a harmonious color selection anyway. And I'm going to try something that seems like it would remotely be an appropriate blush color. And I'm going to dip into it with the Ulta Beauty blush brush. And hopefully this won't be too intense a color payoff on this, since these are eye colors. And I'm going to very carefully get just the inner third, or the outer third, and the one closest from the cheekbone to the temple. And you know what? I'm sure there's plenty of color in here. Let's go into the bathroom and blend it. Okay. See, I think that was subtle enough. I may need to put a little bit more on, as a matter of fact. Okay, I've got it again. And I'm going to go back into that same color with this brush, because I really don't think I can see too much of what I applied. But you know what, I better put this down someplace away from my hard drive. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to look at it from the mirror above my sink. And you know what? That is enough. What I'm going to do now, I want to get a good look at this makeup with my hair done. Down, done. My hair's been big for so long, it's kind of like one giant bunch of dreads at this point. But, hey, to have big hair that you don't have to take up and down and up and down and up and down, that is the price you pay, especially when you're in the middle of a pandemic and you can't really go anyplace. So, what do you think of this makeup? Do you like it? Are you happy with it? Because I am. I think it's a really great way to use your oranges and your pinks and your golds, and especially if you have those unusual colored eyeliners. And now that we're wearing the face masks and things, now's the time to really go crazy with the eyeliners. I really love bright makeup. And you could really wear any lipstick of your choice. If you're wearing a mask, nobody's going to see it anyway. The fact that I'm wearing something moist to actually do something about my dry lips. Otherwise, the mask, nobody's going to see. But I like the oranges and the golds. And if you like that, now you know how to do it. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you like me and my content and you haven't already, do subscribe and make sure the bell looks like it's ringing. And that way you won't miss anything I post. I post 3 times a week for your viewing pleasure. And I'd love to take you along with me on my adventures. Till then, take care and I will talk to you soon. Bye.